And then once you left,
yes,
it continued.
It continued.
You went to the house. You went back to the house. A lot of people will say, I'm just going to be honest.
Yes.
For a girl who's
Yes.
out there, and we have to take responsibility for something that
Yes.
we do. Not saying that it's your fault.
Yeah, I understand.
But
yes,
you would think, I'm not putting down.
I know.
Common sense would tell you, why would you go back to her house after being raped for 2 nights?
I know.
Now, society would say, but she got what she asked for.
Yeah, exactly.
So what were you really thinking at that time? Because a lot of people would be so hurt, so broken, especially after being raped one time by your first initial encounter, which was your first boyfriend. You were a virgin.
I was a virgin.
So now your second time, after going out there sleeping with several different men in prostitution, now you're coming back and you're sleeping with a 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
And now you're raped by 8 guys for 2 nights straight in a row.
Yes.
And you come back to the same house, they will say you liked it. So what really was going on in your head at that point? Did you like it?
Actually, I did. And not only that, I really didn't care.
So then it wasn't rape?
Maybe it wasn't, because I liked it. Yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right.
At one point you crying.
I was crying. I don't know. I was all messed up.
Now you saying you went back because you liked it.
I liked it exactly.
So you were confused.
I was confused. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
People will consider. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I have to just put it out there. If I'm a woman, because when we say rape, and I understand there are a lot of girls, and we call rape all the time.
Yes.
But we are willing to open up our legs to men and to the boys because we think that, you know, it's sexy. We think it's the in thing. We think it's the cool thing.
Yes.
Because we want to be loved and accepted. We feel like, I want to be that it girl.
Yeah.
I don't care. He can call me a hoe.
Yes.
He can call me a bitch. That's what they call the girls.
That's right.
You know, so
you're right.
I just have to be real with you. For a person to say they're raped for 2 days in a row, and then to say, you know what, I'm gonna go right back. So that means, well, did it feel good?
Yeah.
You know, or did it hurt? Now it's like, which one is it?
Yeah.
So at some point in your mind, I guess it becomes like so much confusion that you don't really know what to feel.
Exactly, you're right. That's what it
because
was.
at one moment you're hurting,
crying.
You want to go home, tired. So it started to hurt.
Yeah, it had to. Oh yeah, it did. It really did.
Your genitals.
Yeah, and it did hurt. Yeah.
So
it did.
To go back, then what happened then? Then on that time when you did come back.
Well, when I came back, this time I was talking to another boy, another guy that was in the house. But it was only 4 boys, and I ended up having sex with all 4 of them.
Did you start initiating, or they initiated with you?
Yeah, and then they initiated with me. That's how it started.
So that was just consensual sex.
Yeah,
it was rape on that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now from there, you left that house.
Yes.
And then you still had nowhere to go.
I had no.
So now you're raped by 8 guys.
Yes.
And then you go back to the house.
Yes.
And now you stated that you left the house, and now you're homeless. You said you had nowhere to go.
No.
Okay. So being that you had nowhere to go, you started. You go staying at different friends'
homes
again.
My friends. Yeah, sleeping. You know, whenever I could, I would sleep there at nighttime. In the morning, I go back in the street and just hang out. Come back at night.
So, your brother, he continued to look for you, or you went back home at this time, correct?
Well,
eventually.
Well, what ended up happening is, I tried to commit suicide plenty of time. I took a whole bunch of pills and tried to kill myself. So they ended up putting me in a mental institution. Okay. Yeah, they feel like, you know, I was crazy. They ended up putting me in a mental institution, and that's when my brother.
What made you want to kill yourself? This was during they put you in foster care at this
time.
I
was also in foster home. I went to 3 different foster homes, but I ran away from them too. Yeah.
Okay, because there's a part that's missing. After you left the White House, when you were being raped, then you were roaming the street, and I think a few times you got caught by the police.
Yeah, they caught me, and that's when they put me to a group home, a
shelter.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to
shelter.
So they put you in the shelter. You said they did a few counseling.
Yeah,
but it wasn't enough counseling to make you come.
Yes.
Okay.
So
off the street.
Yeah.
So you went back.
Ran away from the group.
Ran away from the group. Back on the street again.
Yes, back on the streets. Yes.
And then what happened then?
Well, like I was saying before, I ended up trying to kill myself.
You tried to get, what made you want to kill yourself? Was it the pressure of everything that you were
I just didn't feel like I didn't want to live. I didn't feel like I had nothing in life to live for. You know, I was like, whatever. So I was like, I didn't want to live. You know, so everything that was going on, I'm like, what's the point of living? So that was
you overdosed on the pills one day at the foster home, and they called the ambulance. And they sent you to the mental institution. And how long did you have to stay there?
I think about a month or two I stayed there for.
Okay, so you got better.
Yeah, I got better.
And what did you get after that?
My brother had to come and get me because I had no family members, so they told me that my brother had to come get me. Okay. My brother came and got me. You know, he was like, you cannot stay with me. He said, I'm gonna drop you off to your stepfather's cousin house, which I call my aunt. So he went and he took me over there.
Okay, and while staying with your stepfather's cousin,
which was called my aunt. Yes.
You came into another encounter of pretty much molestation by her husband.
Her husband was molesting me.
So one night you're there, and all of a sudden he's playing this Haitian music, and y'all call it compa. I had an ex-husband who was Haitian, so I know what you're talking about. You compa, He like, come here, baby, come dance with me,
come dance with me.
And so you come dance with him.
And he started feeling and touching on me, you know, because he had to be at least 40 something, and I was at least maybe 15 or 16, or I was a teenager. You know, and I consider him as family, so he started touching on me.
And then from there, that was about quite a few weeks he kept doing that. You know, and you went to school, you made the report.
Told somebody.
Told the teacher. Teacher contacted your home. Your aunt came in, they were questioned, they denied it.
They said never happened.
It never happened. And then they also told him. And then he said you were lying.
I was lying. He said it never happened. He would never do that. It never happened. And his wife was like, no, I trust my husband. He's not that kind of person. It never happened.
Especially because of your previous past. Nobody would believe you.
Exactly.
So now you're molested, and then that forces you to go back into the streets again.
Running away again. I'm always running away. I never stay nowhere. Always. I ran away. I left. I wanted to be back out there in the street. For some reason, I guess I feel more comfortable in the street. You know, so I just left again.
And then what happened then?
Well, I kept, you know, going back and forth, you know, sleeping over friends' house, you know, staying over friends. I met a friend of mine, you know, she was a friend. I moved in with her and her mother. But the mom was on crack. And I didn't do crack, so thank God. But me and her, we started smoking weed, and then it turned to be lace. And then I started snorting powder. So we was deep in drugs.
So you started doing
powder
snorting.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were getting the money from still sleeping around at
Yes,
the time.
exactly. All my friends were here to me. Me and her, we used to, you know, trick together.
Okay.
Yeah. And she had people that she knew when she called.
What is tricking for those that don't know what tricking is?
Well, going out just selling your body, prostituting your body, you know, sleeping around for money. Okay. That's what we call it. It was both of us doing it. We used to do it together. And we had also had friends. You know, we knew people that, you know, we used to sleep with and give us money, like sugar daddies is what they call it. Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. And were you doing drug trafficking too, or just
no? I wasn't just using drugs. Yeah, I wasn't trafficking. I just using it.
So then, how did life take you after that?
Well, it took me to. I ended up, like I said, I never finished high school. You know.
Did you get pregnant finally?
I got pregnant. I finally got pregnant.
And you got pregnant
at the age of 17, I got pregnant.
And he became abusive.
Yeah.
So now you finally got the baby that you felt that you needed.
I know.
And then had the baby. And end up being in a relationship with the guy who used to beat you and became abusive.
Yeah.
And you end up having another baby shortly afterwards? Or?
Yes, I had another baby. I was maybe about 18 years old.
Now, the interesting thing about this, he got on drugs.
Yeah.
So both of you guys, both of you two are snorting and lacing.
Yeah.
And you have kids, and you say you smoke so much in the house.
Yeah.
The kids even would get high.
Yeah.
Off
connected. Yeah.
And you were so much, you know, in your own world.
Yes.
You never thought about them.
Yeah, that's right.
You would leave them in the house by themselves alone.
I would.
And it was only because of the grace and mercy of God that you and your family never ever found out.
Yeah.
And they were what, pretty much babies.
They
and
were
you were
babies.
just leaving them in the house and take off.
And take off and just do whatever.
And do whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, I was still out there partying. You know, I mean, I thought, you know, since I had 2 kids, you know, I was supposed to be a mother to them and be there for them and support them, but I was still out there partying. So even though having the 2 kids at that age, it didn't change who I was. I was still out there doing whatever. So it didn't mean nothing to me.
So at that point, you ended up meeting a Haitian woman, I believe.
I moved to Connecticut.
Okay.
Went up there, Connecticut, you know, I went.
You were tricking there. We missed the part. Your boyfriend now, who you had a baby from.
Not boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
Your ex. I mean, in this story. Your baby daddy.
My baby daddy.
Your baby daddy became your pimp.
Yeah. Yes.
And he would collect the money from you while you go sell your body out in the street.
For drugs. I used to tell people that he was my brother. I used to be like, that's my brother. They'd be like, who that is? He used to tell me, don't tell people we together because it's going to look weird. So tell them that I'm your brother, your cousin. So I'd be like, yeah, that's my brother, my cousin. You know, I used to tell people that so they would feel comfortable. I couldn't just go sleep. We would get the money and get some high and smoke.
In Connecticut, what happened there?
I went to Connecticut to go live with my stepfather and my brother. I went to go up there and everything, you know. I wanted to just get away. So when I got up there, it was me, my 2 kids, and my kid's father. We came up there. And then my stepfather came and he seen my baby daddy and he said, oh no. He said he cannot stay here. He gotta go. And I was like, why? I was like, well, I love him, why? And then he said he looked like he's on drugs. He looked like a crackhead and I don't want him around my house. So my kid's father had to end up leaving. But thank God he had family in Connecticut that he could go live with. He had an aunt that stayed up there. So he left and I was crying, like, oh, I love you, and I'm just crying.
Now, is this the aunt that had the trick house?
No, that was his grandmother. No, that was
his
another
grandmother. Is that here in Miami or was that back in?
It was down here in Miami.
So, okay, I just want to make sure I don't miss anything else.
Okay.
There's a lot to your story.
I know, it's long.
So, were you involved in his grandmother's trick house in Miami before this or after this?
I would say before.
Okay, so before you moved to Connecticut.
Yeah, but I wasn't in the house tricking. I was living there. That was my home.
But they had.
Yeah, that's what they did.
They were running their own trips of girls and pimping girls there where they were at. So they were sex trafficking.
It was really prostitute. They were grown women. They wasn't young kids. They were grown women that used to come in and, you know, sleep with guys for money. Okay. Yeah, so it was grown women. Yeah.
But they had a choice, or were they being held captive?
No, they had a choice. Okay. She was making a business out of it. They were making money. It's like a hotel, like a motel. That's what it was.
Within their house.
Yeah, exactly.
In Little Haiti.
No, actually, that was in Miami, I believe. That was in Miami.
Like what area?
I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Liberty City, not Miami. No.
But it was Miami.
It was Miami. Yeah, it was in Miami.
So that lets us know this is going on in Miami.
Yes, it is.
So there are actually houses.
Opalaka, I think.
In Opalaka,
I think so.
There are actually houses that the girls use.
Yes.
You know, to have sex as prostitutes.
Yes, they do.
So they didn't have to go to a motel. They didn't have to go to the strip club. They just came to grandma's house.
Yeah.
And your boyfriend.
It was a business. It was like a family business they had. It was a family business.
I'm sure it was. He made you. You were his family.
Yeah.
And he turned you into the business.
Exactly.
And he did not even care that you had a child from him.
Yeah. Wow. That's right.
So now, at that point, you did get involved with someone else, or were you still with?
It's about in Connecticut.
Yeah.
No, in Connecticut, I wasn't involved with someone else, but I was sleeping around with a lot of different guys up there.
Okay, so your second child's father did not come along yet?
No.
Okay.
My father.
Now, at this point, is that when you met the Haitian?
That's when I met. Yeah, I had got a job. I went up there. I got a job. You know, I was happy. I was working in the casino, working in the cafeteria. I was making good money. I really was. You know, but it still didn't change who I was. I was still leaving my kids by themselves and doing whatever. So that's when I ended up meeting this Haitian lady, and she came and she's like, oh, listen, I have a son. You know, because she knew me. I think she knew my mother.
Yeah, and she said that she was a voodoo priest.
She was a voodoo priest.
And she said that she met your mother in Haiti, and they used to do voodoo in Haiti together.
Yes.
And so therefore, when she met you, she was like, oh, you're such and such daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, your daughter is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a son. And so
she was in love with my daughter, my second daughter.
The second daughter, and when you said there was something specific that she pointed out with your second daughter when she saw the daughter and she said something to you about her. What is it that she said?
Well, she told me she got a picture. Well, that's when I was living with her, because she told me she went to me to babysit her son. So I ended up moving in with her, because at that time I really didn't have a stable place. So I ended up moving in with her to babysit her son. And she got a picture of the Virgin Mary. And she told me, she said, oh, your daughter is so special. She's very special. And I'm like, okay.